Teach me something. Hi folks, welcome to my off-grid homestead in the forest, and today on this beautiful glorious day we are truly off-grid. In fact, for the month of February we've been completely 100% off the grid because as the longer days are here and the sun is beaming down with such quality that our solar panels are just harvesting everything. And because by comparison, late November to late January, it was so dark this year. Although it was a bit milder too, that we had to run the generator for the batteries. I mean, you don't want the batteries to deplete so far that you can't bring them back up more quickly. So now, yeah, for this is today is I think the 25th of February, and for for a whole month we haven't had to run the generator at all, and glorious. And even right now, right now today is a beautiful day because it's they're promising +5 temperatures. You see, I don't have any gloves or mittens on, and I'm only wearing this one layer. As opposed to before, I don't have my hoodie on. And although with a bit of a breeze coming, I think it's more like 0, but 0 for late February in our region, that's something. That's brilliant. Although from an environmentalist point of view, climate change, it shouldn't be this mild at this time of year. But even environmentalists need a day off from worrying about the environment. And so this I thought I would come out and share this day with you. I'm looking at this water dripping here. I don't know if you can see from the roof, and the breeze is so gentle that I can't tell. It's not blowing. I can't see which way the water is dripping. It's just coming right down, and I'm smelling the moisture. It's like a different kind of moisture in the air. This moisture has a scent of spring. What I mean is, you know how some places, maybe where you live right now, spring arrives earlier, and as the snow's gone, melts, and the sun heats the soil, and the leaves that were sandwiched between the soil and the snow, and the breaking down the cellulose, and there's this particular smell to it. If you, I'm feeling the breeze now. I think it's coming from the west, which is actually helpful to my story. Good point. So the west is always the prevailing wind, and it's warmer there, and so this is probably what happened. The reason why I can smell this beautiful type of moisture with the scented moisture is that somewhere in the west, wherever, the snow's gone and the soil's warming up, and all the goodness that's in the soil is just bursting, and the wind is picking that up and bringing it here to give me hope and to give me the promise of arrival of the spring, which I don't think will be here for at least 5 weeks, but still. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's wearing that yellow jacket again, and I am, folks. I am. Do I do wash it. I'm not filthy. I'm not that filthy. Filthy, not that filthy. But no, my yellow jacket is my superpower cape jacket. What's a superpower? If it can put a smile on someone's face on a day like today, I mean, this is a glorious day, on a winter day, then it deserves recognition. So, yeah, I'm proud to be wearing it, all right? Get off my back. No, teach me something. Yes, today I want to talk to you about teach me something. So I don't know how many videos I have, how many people watch them, but in almost all of them, I'm sharing. I know I'm sharing my thoughts, my chores, how I manage living here as I do. But I also have a lot of tips and shared experiences that someone else can use. Um, I thought if you folks, any of you, have something to share with me, however a little, maybe about gardening or recipe for life, recipe for baking, whatever, it doesn't matter. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just kidding. I just named it. Teach me something, because I am so ignorant that on occasion when I go into town once a week, I don't bother people that I meet, either they're working or not, asking them to teach me something, because, well, I mean, if they're working, they're working, and if they're not working, it's probably on their day off, and I don't want to disturb people. But here, on occasion, when I get people coming to the neighborhood, or even more rare occasion when they come to stay with us here at the house, that's when I know that I can ask them to teach me something, and I'm all excited to hear what things are like where they're from, in their neck of the woods, the challenges, what's good, what's not so good, whatever. And so yeah, I'll just share with you maybe a couple more things now that I'm here. Like I said, the garden is right now is under a foot of snow, the raised beds, and here is at least 2 feet of snow, if not at parts 3 feet of snow. But still, that moist, scented, earthy smell coming. It's not from my forest because it's all covered under the snow, but from wherever it's coming from. First of all, listen to this. Peace and tranquility. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everyone should experience this. Everyone should experience snow. Everyone should experience the forest if you're able to. So I was saying, yeah, garden. So I'm excited about the garden, even the promise of gardening in however number of weeks or months. But for some of you who are already there, your snow is gone, or maybe you never had snow. You're getting ready. You've sown your seeds or whatever. I'll just continue talking because about that, whatever that I've learned, the tips and tricks and whatever, because you'll be there before me, and if I don't share that with you now, I'm realizing then you would have already sown your seeds or whatever to do with your garden, and you may have missed the opportunity to use these tips. So I'll tell you what I know from time to time in my videos now, even though I can't use them, someone else could, maybe, I hope. So spinach. I mean, we all like spinach. We are, especially the tender ones. How I eat it is when it's raw, with like your button mushrooms. It's your regular white button mushrooms, and I slice them, lemon juice, olive oil, and some salt. It's just doesn't. You don't even need any tomatoes or anything. It's just so, if the mushrooms and the combination of the two feels like almost like steaky. Drooling here. And but spinach is kind of blend and kind of a finicky, some kind of a difficult, I've had various success with growing them, and they like their soil to be just so, and the water not too wet, not too dry, temperature not too hot, not too cool. Otherwise it's almost, to me, it feels like they're looking for any excuse to bolt. And once something bolts, it's pretty much, you gotta yank it out. There's rarely any salvaging it. But do you know? I know some of you know. Have you ever heard of Swiss chard? I don't know what the Swiss is about. So what it is, for those of you who don't know, and maybe you can, after this video, go and have a look. It's like a big leaf, bigger than, I think, even kale, and it's just a big top, and then narrows down to the stalk of it. And so the stalk of it, this plant can come in 3 different colors: yellow, orange, beautiful yellow, beautiful orange, and beautiful red. Not like any red or orange or yellow that you can imagine. If you've not seen it in person, even at the supermarket, because by the time it arrives at a supermarket, it's already started to break down and maybe lose some of its color and definitely its vitamins. But if you have a chance to grow it, this is what I'm hoping that maybe you'll try this year if you've never done it. So the stalk of it, that's usually about this thick. I don't know if you can see, about an inch thick. And as it tapers to the leafy part, it narrows, and then the leafy part is big. And so the stalk, so whatever color the plant is, like if the stalk is yellow, and it narrows into like a big vein that goes through the center of it, just like any other leaf of any plant would look like. And then the capillaries, the bigger veins to the tiniest capillaries, also remain that same color. So if it's yellow stalk, yellow throughout, and then there's beautiful green that's in between the veining. And so if it's red stalk and there's all the veins are red and it's green all surrounding it, or if it's orange, gorgeous thing. And it's easier, I think, to grow. In my experience, and they're not as finicky. And I don't believe it's got any less nutrition, goodness, vitamins in it than kale or spinach does. I know some of you kale and spinach fanatics are yelling at me now, but listen, I'm being honest. I love colors. Do I love colors? And I love colors in Swiss chard. And you can juice it. You can eat it. It wilts just as quickly as in your frying pan with some butter and garlic and onions, just like spinach and kale would. But anyway, and if you depending on how you look after where you live, the growing season, whatever, you can have a second harvest, you can have a third harvest, you might even be able to have a fourth harvest from the same plant that you put your effort into sowing its seed just at one time. And what a return on your investment. But one thing though, when you go to plant them, the seeds come in like a little round, sort of a cluster, nut cluster, whatever. As they're not smooth like a cucumber or a pumpkin would be. So it's like a bumpy, and so you put one in each hole that you sow it. But sometimes when they grow to about this high, you'll notice when you're looking, you'll notice that there's two of them that are so closely growing together, and it's actually two that are branching out. In those particular cases, you should outroot one of them for in favor of the other one. I mean, you could leave them. I know it's painful to pull a living, beautiful thing that you planted out of its roots, but if you don't, what happens is that they're fighting for nutrients in the soil, and they're choking each other. Sort of like my forest here that I've mentioned before. It's got probably 70% of it has to be thinned, be removed, because there's not enough elbow room for the rest of them. It's unfortunate, and I'm a tree hugger, but if I want them to grow optimally, there's way too many of them here. Same for this. Same for when you thin carrots or beetroots and whatever. So pull one out, and I don't know that unlike beetroots when you're thinning them, if you pull one out, you can plant them somewhere else. Unlike carrots, but I'm not sure about Swiss chard, and you can let me know if you know that you could. Question I'm asking you is that when you pull one out of its roots, I mean it's still intact. Could you replant it and have that grow? I don't know. But anyway, the point is, if you don't do it, then there'll just be too many of them. And when you cut them if you cut them from the base, but not chop it like that, just take an individual leaf of it out, just like you would with a kale, right? So then so the root structure is in the ground, so you're not kind of decapitating or whatever, and just go right horizontally. Just go vertically into one particular leaf, so you can just eat that. So that's a tip there about Swiss chard that I'm hoping you'll try. And if you're not, have a look at, if you go to a supermarket, how beautiful and vibrant in red, yellow, or orange they are. I think I'll keep that short for today, and I'll let you go. But I'll walk over and to tell you that maybe I'll give you a little show of yesterday or whenever last time I was here shooting a video. I told you I wanted to show you this beautiful blue sky, and I don't have that today because it's getting overcast, because the next 2-3 days are going to be overcast. But today it's warmer, but I did remember now to show you the surrounding. I'll show you a little surrounding of where you're standing, where I'm standing, before I go. So, well, this is the snow. You've seen the snow, and I try to make a little video of all the sparkly, different reflections. That refraction. But this camera is probably picking up on that, trying to fix it and not showing that. But anyway, regardless, here's the woodshed. I have a video of that if you want to go have a look. Just you can see how I walk my way over. It's like a good 2-3 feet of snow there, getting my way in there. Go look for it. I'm not sure what it's titled, but I recently uploaded it. So see how thick, dense the forest is, and there's not even any leaves there. And when the leaves come out, boy, there's hardly any sun reaching the forest floor, for one. The raised beds are way back, way back there, which I'm sure you can't see from this angle. They're my 5 compost bins that are under a foot or 2 of snow right now. That's a thermal blanket. All of this snow is a thermal blanket, because I feel sorry for folks in areas where they don't get as much snow, because what it is that, but they do get cold, and what it is that the root system of their trees, like for instance here, if you can see these trees here, are not covered by this thermal blanket, and so well, I mean, they can freeze. It's still a winter, and so in those cases, folks, if that's where you live, you need to mulch them heavily, or leaves or something, to give them that blanket, over the winter. I don't have that problem. Oh, as I'm showing you this, see that there's a bit of a snow that's higher and just directing the center of your screen. Let me see if I can zoom. You see it now? I'm bringing it closer and closer to you. You see it directly in the center of the video. You see that? What that is a tree that's come down, and that's its roots that it's uprooted on its way down. So that's the butt end of the tree. And I will show you what that looks like. I do have videos of that in the summertime where I've shot it. Go have a look at those. But that's one of the trees that I have to tend to. You can't see the rest of the tree for the forest, but it's there because it's blending with the rest of the trees next to it. There's no way I can't even see it, and I'm not even, blocked by any other impediments or whatever that's in obstacles in my way, and I can't see the rest of the tree either, but I just see the root of it that's there. Well, folks, I'll let you go. Thanks for joining me, and as always, think outside. No box required, and good being with you. Take good care.